Hi there, Dead Ideal Boy here, back with another video, and in this one you're going to see a really amazing race, well worth watching to the end. No spoilers though, but watch to the end. Now, it's a B-rated lobby. Well, we've got some A drivers, some B drivers. The SR was a mix between S and A, so I think there's a lot of door-to-door action happening in this race this week, and this was my very first attempt at the race. So I set a qualifying time and jumped straight in. We also needed to try and repair our own DRSR, which got kind of killed on the last live stream at Trial Mountain. I'm not very good at Trial Mountain, and this is back at Trial Mountain, so I was going into this very nervous, let's just say that. But I hope you enjoy the video, and if you've not subscribed to the channel, then please do so. Help us, well, it's a massive ask, but we're trying to get to 10,000 subscribers one day. We'll probably never make it, but you never know. If you're not subscribed, then please consider doing so. If you've already subscribed, then thank you. You guys are the goats. But yeah, I just hope you enjoy the race, and I'll see you all on the next one. So here we are, jumping into the race. Obviously, you've got to pick the best car if you're coming in cold like I am, and we're going with the M307. Now, road cars are not my thing, so there's a lot of reasons why I am expecting this race to go, well, let's just say my expectations are basement level low. Now, we're in a B lobby, so this could be, well, I don't know. I can't remember the last time I raced in the sort of B lobby type races, and throw into the mix this incredibly strong slipstream and road cars with sports medium tyres, and it could be the worst decision I've ever made on Gran Turismo, but we'll see. We will see. That's why you're all watching. You're watching to see me have an absolute nightmare, I know that, and let's just see if I will give you what you want. You can see here how tentative we were through that first sector. It's cold tyres, no race prep, no practice time, nothing. This is literally the first race I have done, and it's now, well, this race was Sunday, so people have had a full week of this race to hone their skills. So it's probably not a bad thing that I'm not in a top split lobby, because I would probably fear for my life in a lobby like that. But we're not. We're P1, pole position, even though it wasn't the quickest qualifying time. But we're in pole position, and we're going to see how this race works out. Now, I've moved over to the left on this massive straight, and you can see in the radar at the bottom right there how easily the cars behind me just drift past. Now, we're going to go on the brakes nice and early. We give them a little tap. Nothing really I could do about that. It's always going to happen into that braking zone. It's just really difficult for everybody to judge their speed properly. Now, if you don't kill somebody and they maintain the position and they can carry on with the race, then to be honest with you, that's considered clean in this race. So you can see here the Porsche in front going a little bit wide there. We just get up the inside. It felt like there was a little bit of contact when I was actually racing there. Don't know if it was a bit of lag, because you can see from the actual footage there was definitely no contact on my screen, but there we go. We move up a position, well, move back 2 positions from where we started, but back up a position from where we were. And you can see there the first death of the race. Somebody just getting on the power a little bit early coming out of that corner, maybe making a little bit of contact. It doesn't take a lot for these road cars, for the back end just to step out, and if it does, the rear wheel drive, you're going to struggle to keep it pointing in the right direction, which he did not. So now it feels like it's breaking away into a little bit of a race at the front here. You can see they're trying to get away from me. There's a little battle going on now. I want them to battle. They start working together at this point. That could be difficult, because I'm in a little bit of a tricky situation with the car behind me with a little bit of distance, and the car behind me is a Porsche, which is definitely not the OP car for this race, so that would be difficult to work with a car that's not as strong as the BMW. So I'm hoping these two guys have enough of a battle and keeps me in the slipstream, which we're just under a second away now, and you can see the delta, and you'll just see it coming down and down. Now, This slipstream is absolutely great if you're the chaser. But if you're a leader, it is not much fun at all. But this occasion, we are the chaser, and look at this as we reel them in. You get on the brake so nice and early, don't want to ruin anybody's race. We're just going to keep it tight to the inside, just bide our time, just be patient. Patience is a big key in this race, because if you make a break for the front, the chances are you're not going to get anywhere. So I'm thinking it's probably a little bit better for me just to sit behind. I'm rusty, I'm cold, I'm in an unknown environment amongst some of the low-rated drivers, which is not a slight at all. Some very, very good, clean, low-rated drivers, and in fact, some of the best racing can be had down there. Some of the worst racing can be had down there, but it's looking good so far. We're working our way. We're keeping close to the two guys in front, not doing anything silly. We're not making a break for it and trying to be a hero. This suits me down to the ground, just to sit there in third place, just in the slipstream. No pressure really from behind at the moment. Kind of dropped him a little bit, but we close right up on the Irishman and the German in front. A little bit colourblind there, and you can see there it wasn't the quickest through there, but it doesn't matter. This slipstream is there. It is your friend when you're sitting in P3 in this race, so we're not panicking. We're actually very, very comfortable. This is where I feel at home, not leading a race. Whenever I'm leading a race, that is when I do not feel at home. That's when my hands start to get a little bit sweaty on the steering wheel. That's when things start to go wrong. My mind starts to overthink. I start to put pressure on myself. I start to think about the fact that I'm looking at the delta all the time. The car behind me is catching me. That means he must be faster than me. Should I just let him get past me? Should I just battle it out? Should I defend? And all these things are going through my mind as I approach a braking point, and then carnage. Because you miss a braking point, you end up in the wall, you put your foot down too hard, and you spin out. All these things happen to me when I'm leading a race. So right now, I am happy where I am. And you can see how close the cars were there. Lovely bit of driving there from all three of us, really, just to be nice and clean, respectful. I think by this point, the three of us up here understood that there wasn't any point fighting too hard, but you can definitely sense that there is a bit of a little bit of an undertone of a fight going on. We've not really dropped the German behind us who's in the Porsche, so if we really truly work together, we probably could break away quite easily, but just maybe not get the pace to do that, maybe not working together, because you can see here as we cross the line to end lap 3 that the German is going to have a little bit of company, a bit of side-to-side action. Now, I would not have been going for a move here if I had been in P2 at this point. Just don't see the benefit to leading the race when you can clearly see the guys sort of around you in second and third place are able to stay with you. So unless you've got alien pace and you know that if you can get into the lead that you'll be able to make a break for it just on raw pace, not really the thing. Well, it's not really what I would have done. However, each to their own. He's in here for the race and he wants to lead the race. Now, you can see here the German is basically stuck to his bumper. I'm more comfortable sitting 4, 5, 6 tenths back. Don't really want to be responsible for missing a braking point and ruining someone's race. You can see here though, as we come into the tunnel, being 4, 5, 6 tenths back is no problem whatsoever. You can see here the German, he's going for the move again. Both these guys clearly want to have the lead, because if they'd bumped each other they could be pulling away right now, but they're not, and that's good for me. As we come up to the braking zone, you'll just see we just close right up on them comfortably, keeping the inside line there. See here, are they going to go side by side again through this sector? And the answer to that is yes, and there's contact. We kind of get put off by that, almost go into the wall ourselves, so the ghosting system doing its job there, but I'm not really sure what happened there. It looked like a little bit of just unfortunate door banging, but the Irish driver was the one who came off the worst and ended up in the wall. However, his race is not over because he did manage to keep it going forward and he's still there. he's still only a few tenths behind. So it's not a disaster by any stretch of the imaginations. Normally, maybe if this was Group 3 or another race where the slipstream wasn't what it was, that would have been a major problem. But he's, you know, still with us. So as long as he remains there, then he's still got as much a chance of winning this race as anybody. The real winner there, though, was P4 in the Porsche, because he's right back in the race now. He's right back in the slipstream, so it's now a 4-horse race. And you can see the German going a little bit wide there. He just manages to save the back end there. He's almost running wide there. We almost run wide as well, but we're right up there. So we know that the German's not going to break away from us with just pure raw pace. And when we get onto the back straight, we'll have an opportunity. So it'll be interesting to see how this one pans out, as we both missed the apex quite wildly there. But we get a little bit of a purple sector, so we're picking up the pace slightly. And coming under the tunnel, round this left-hander now, really good. It's really important to get a good exit here, because if you can keep it tight and get on the power early, which we didn't really do that well, but you can see the Germans pulled out a little bit of a gap, 7 tenths, but we've got a chance of pulling him in. Now the Irishman behind, if you look in the radar, he's going to give me a little bit of a bump draft. So the first sign of someone willing to work, and see the overspeed that we end up with, and we go past the German as if he's not there. Now I was just guessing where to brake here, and I just slam on the anchors as hard as I can, keep hugging the inside, power out. You can see in the radar there, though, there's movement and everybody's sort of jostling for position. And the German who was in P1 getting into the back straight is now in P4. That's how quickly things can change as his countryman in the Porsche makes the move up the inside. Now the Irishman is in P2, and he was the guy who bumped drafted me, so there's a potential there that he could work with me. We're not sure though. It's all very, very cat and mouse still at the moment as we come up to the final chicane. Just hugging that tight left-hander there, getting up to third and trying to just take the apex. Missed a little bit, ran a little bit wide, and we'll swoop over to the right and try and, well, maybe save some of the slipstream, but we're not going to be able to, because you can see how easily cars are catching up now. Irish driver is going to approach the back end of us, but he's not close enough, so we're going to lead through the first sector again. It's important then we make sure this sector is nice and clean. Don't want to get a penalty. Very easy to get a penalty on that sector. So we're not the quickest through there, but this is kind of the first time since lap 1 that I've been the lead car, and as I explained, all those thoughts that go through my mind about leading a race, they're all now coming to the fore. And you can see that by how much I missed this apex by. I mean, I could have sent a postcard to the apex. I was that far from it. Again, that all comes down to me leading the race, and I'm really not comfortable in this position. And I've only got a lap and a half to go, and I'm thinking about possibly winning it, and then I hit the wall. And that's, again, a prime example of the things I do when I lead a race. You can see the Irish driver, no point bump drafting me there because, well, he had so much of a run on me. But the German behind me, who was previously in P1, who was having a bit of a battle with the Irishman, he bump drafts me, so we've slingshot past him. Again, no idea where to brake because of the overspeed, and look how wide I take this left-hander, and everybody's just going to swoop up the inside of me. And I'm feeling fortunate I'm only down to P3 because I thought I was going to come out of there in P4. But you can see here, we've managed to kind of tuck back in. Problem being now, we're going to be heading into the last lap soon. The Irishman just skimming the wall there. We're going to get up the inside. We've now got the Porsche behind us, the German. He is a big factor now in this race. He is definitely a fixture, and will have his eyes potentially setting a win as well. So a 4-horse race has certainly evolved here and will be the case for the final lap. Now, getting a little bit scruffy through here, and we cut this corner, and I was certain that that was going to be a penalty. Now we just need to wait. Will it be a penalty? No penalty. So absolutely fine to cut that corner. Now I decided to bump draft the Irishman because I didn't feel like fighting was the best idea, because the German would have just broke away and it could have been the decisive move in the race. So actually bump drafting the Irishman there and staying in P3 I felt was the right move, because if we had fought through there, we'd have lost a lot of time and we might not have been able to sort of stay with the German in front. And we've got obviously the German behind the company as well who could have profited. And I just felt like quick decision, bump draft him, and we'll see what happens on the back straight if we can stay with them again. Again, getting a little bit quicker, going purple through that first sector again, which is nice. So you can see the two cars in front both drifting very, very far over to the left, which meant that their exit might be compromised. And you can see here we get a pretty good exit. And this is the key part of the race. It's the last lap, it's the longest straight. Now we need to make a decision. Do we bump draft or do we try and go for the double overtake? We're going to go up the left. The Irishman sees us, almost comes over. He's going to have to go to the right. We're going up the inside though, and we're going for the double overtake. We're getting into the corner in P2. Where will we come out at? As we hit the brakes, there's contact. We get hit in the inside there. But look at that radar. They're having a little bit of a fight now. We've come out in P1. Fantastic. And we're still purple. But now you can hear some horns blaring. There's somebody not happy as we come round the right-hander. At this point, I don't even care about apexes or anything anymore. I just need to keep my car in front. As we come round this left-hander, you'll see what I mean. I'm not... This isn't by any stretch of the imaginations good driving. I'm just trying to keep the car in front as I weave over to the left and the right into the braking zone. No more weaving. Over to the left, clip that apex, just keep it tight, make the car as big as possible. Try and clip the apex, but I'll completely miss it. I actually hit the wall there, but we've done enough. They've made enough of a mess of it as well in their desperate fight, and we're going to come across the line to take the win ahead of the Irishman. The German P3 and in P4 in the Porsche. Good effort by, oh, he's actually up to P3. A good effort all round there, but what a race. What an absolute stormer of a race. So much fun. This race has a slipstream that will either help you or kill you, but yeah, I really enjoyed that one. I hope you did too. I will hope to see you all in a live stream very, very soon, and I'll see you all on the next one. Goodbye.